In 2019, the I-Team uncovered documents that showed the president of the Humane Society of the Desert was reimbursed tens of thousands of dollars after making charges to credit cards issued to the nonprofit, including luxury hotel stays, meals at local restaurants, a Louis Vuitton purse, and even cosmetic surgery. Melinda Bustos was suspended and a financial audit began. Tonight in my I-Team exclusive Dogs and Dollars, Bustos is back on the board. Hear why a local animal activist is outraged and why a newly appointed board member supports her return. So bottom line, you are comfortable with Melinda being back on the board?
Well, I'm comfortable that nothing bad happened in the past, and I'm ecstatic that she's here now.
Yeah, I want her gone. I want her in jail.
Two very different reactions to the return of former Humane Society of the Desert president, Melinda Bustos. She was suspended from the nonprofit in 2018 after allegations she had used donor money for personal use. 2 years ago, the I-Team uncovered a list of purchases charged to two separate credit cards issued to the nonprofit, totaling tens of thousands of dollars.
The Miramonte Resort and the La Quinta Resort, St. John.
Plus thousands more. Bustos never responded to our requests for an explanation or to defend herself. But Skip Coomber, an attorney and entrepreneur who joined the board a year ago, is now speaking out on her behalf, saying the purchases she made were auction items to help raise money for the animal shelter at galas and fundraisers.
Well, what she did is she put together packets for the affluent to bid on. And those items went right into the package that they would bid on. Like I said, we've researched that. We're very comfortable that nothing funny was going on.
That wasn't the opinion of the board president in 2020, who reported to the state attorney general's office that there was a diversion of assets by former President Bustos. In a written explanation, Kim McGuire Hardy wrote, in part, "It's estimated that the diversion of assets for the 2018 fiscal year amounted to just over $148,000. The organization has removed the former president from her position and contacted the Riverside County Sheriff's Department to conduct a formal investigation, an investigation that has since been closed. Bustos has not been charged." Why was Melinda Bustos allowed back on the board?
We investigated everything. I mean, we went back, we went through all of this. We looked through the records. We brought in an attorney. I'm an attorney also, but we brought in an outside legal firm, and we brought in some CPAs, and we're very, very comfortable that nothing did happen other than maybe some sloppiness, not best practices. But she'd run it for 15 years. The board felt like a family.
Coomber, a former Palm Springs high school classmate with several board members, including Bustos, was asked to help sort out the troubles with financials and paperwork to get everything back on track in 2020. He says after Bustos left, fundraising stopped and the Humane Society was hemorrhaging money.
When Ms. Bustos left, there was over $2 million in a reserve account. And as of the July 8th board meeting where I presented the budget that I had prepared for the fiscal year, we were losing $39,000 a month. And it was not sustainable.
Losing money may not be their biggest problem. According to the Department of Justice website, the Humane Society of the Desert is delinquent, and their state 501c3 status has been revoked. The most recent correspondence from the DOJ says, in part, in 2018, an independent audit was required. No audit was conducted.
You're obligated when you exceed $2 million with your return, your tax return to the state, the independent audit. That wasn't done.
In response to the DOJ, Board Treasurer Ken Solomon sent a 2-page letter in August of 2020 asking for an exemption to that audit requirement, citing the jump in revenue was due to the Humane Society's partnership with a neighboring hospital. The one-time transfer of more than $1.3 million put them over the $2 million mark.
So basically what it is, the state wants a seal of approval from an independent CPA firm that everything is legit.
Okay, and that's happening now.
And that's in the process right now, and it'll be done. I would imagine it'll be completed by the end of July.
That $1 million plus transfer? It's when they combined resources with another animal shelter in the valley, Save a Pet. Retired veterinarian and animal activist Paula Terrify says that's when the trouble began for her. She's outraged Bustos is back on the board. She started a group Facebook page, Friends of Save a Pet, and even held a protest in front of the Humane Society.
When the Save a Pet dogs went missing, that's when I started protesting. Yeah, they disappeared. We couldn't find them. They wouldn't let us go visit them. She just picked them up in a van and drove them off, and bye-bye.
And the closure of the animal hospital, once in the hands of the Humane Society, is also a point of contention for her.
It made no sense at the time because they were, we worked really hard there. I mean, I was there for a short period of time, but we were doing good work at that hospital.
Coomber says the closure happened because the veterinarian resigned. He says they are working with the city of Desert Hot Springs to get it up and running again as a low-cost provider by the end of the year. Why should donors trust that the money is going to help the dogs and run the facility?
You know, I'm sort of an expert on best practices, and now we have best practices in place, so nothing can be misconstrued.
The city of Desert Hot Springs confirms they are looking to buy the animal hospital from the Humane Society with the intention of having another operator run the facility. That still has to go to council. And as we stated in the story, we've learned the 501c3 status of Humane Society of the Desert is revoked. This means that your donations to the organization may not be tax deductible. The State Department of Justice Registry is now listing both Humane Society of the Desert and Save a Pet as delinquent. If you want to find out the status of an organization you want to donate to, you can check it out this way on the California Department of Justice site. You can search charities by name or federal tax identification number. We have the link for you online now at KESQ.com. And if you have a tip you want the I-Team to investigate, email us at iteam@KESQ.com or call the newsroom.